Welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. I'm Jack, and in today's episode, we have a special guest, Robbie Beydoun of Michigan Tech. Robbie, how are you?
Doing well. Thanks for having me, Jack.
Yeah, no problem. So, you're a goaltender for the Michigan Tech Huskies. So, let's get right into it. So, before we get to like your junior and like college career, you played U16 and U18 for CompuWare, right?
Yeah, CompuWare. It's a AAA team in Detroit, and it's right here in Plymouth, Michigan.
That's a sick name, CompuWare.
Yeah. All the AAA Detroit teams kind of have like a team sponsor. There's like Little Caesars, Bell Tire, Honey Baked. I'm sure you've heard of some of
Yeah,
those.
that's sick. It
Yeah,
sounds like a computer like company.
yeah, it
That,
is.
that's awesome. So, what was that experience like playing AAA?
I mean, it was great. Playing AAA in Detroit, it's one of the most competitive youth hockey places, honestly, almost in the world. I mean, there's kids that come from all over to play for these AAA Detroit teams. It's very competitive and it's very hard to make one of these teams. Honestly, um, one of the toughest parts of my hockey career was actually making a U16 midget team. Um, because I before my U16 year, I didn't play AAA. I wasn't able to make one of the teams just because it was so competitive, like I said. And I played Michigan high school my first 2 years of high school, and my junior year, I finally got into Contra 16 and got back into AAA, and then kind of just took off from there.
That's awesome. Seems like once you got that edge going, you're there to stay.
Yeah, exactly. I just kind of needed that one break. Just kind of needed a team to take a chance on me and see that I can play.
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah,
what
I'm happy to ask me.
what do you do to like help yourself get to that U16 spot?
That was kind of like my last kind of chance to make a AAA team. Um, it was either go back to high school for my junior year, play another year of high school. Where in Michigan high school, you really had the best opportunities to be seen by like junior teams and college teams and stuff.
Yeah,
So I felt that if I wanted to play, junior hockey at a high level, and I wanted to play Division One college hockey, that was kind of like my last chance to be able to do that by getting on a U16 team and exposing myself to those junior teams, because I kind of felt like I was a little bit behind with that, with the whole recruiting. Um, and then that kind of just fast tracked me, honestly. Once I made that U16 team, and I just kind of got there by just simply just putting in the work. After my high school season ended my sophomore year, I just locked in with my goalie coach and said, "Hey, this is the year. This is my last shot, and I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure I finally crack a roster spot." And I ended up doing that and had to battle out through the spring season, and yeah, they ended up taking me.
that's awesome. It just shows that if you put in the work, you get those opportunities that you're looking for, just like you did.
Yeah, exactly. I just had to outwork. I just had to outwork everybody. I mean, as simple as that. Once I did that, and once I realized that I had the ability to do anything I set my mind to, then that's how I just kept propelling into the next levels.
Yeah, and so then you went on to U18, and then eventually got on the to the Michigan Warriors of the Null. So
Mm-hmm.
what was that transition like, going from like midgets to playing juniors in the NA?
It's a huge transition going from youth hockey to playing juniors. There's so many things that are different about the game.
Yeah,
Every game is that much bigger. Um, you're just treated like more of a professional, and once you get to that level, it's a business. And you're not paying the team to play. Um, it's the opposite, actually. It's those guys are getting paid to win.
yeah,
Those coaches, and you're kind of just a number. if you're not getting the job done, you're easily replaced. So it kind of keeps you working hard and keeps you staying accountable every day.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think it was a easy transition for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think my first, month or so of juniors, I was just so excited to be out there. So excited to finally be playing junior hockey at a high level. It was something I worked towards pretty much my whole life. And once I was finally there, I was so excited. And things got a little tough. I had a lot of things to learn. And I felt like I learned a lot in that half season I played for the Michigan Warriors. And from those experiences in junior hockey during that first year, that's a big reason why I was able to stand out to the Fargo Force SHL, and that's how I was able to take that experience there. I think it would have been a lot harder for me starting or going straight from AAA to the USHL,
Yeah.
going to the NAL and then the USHL. That was a nice way to kind of bridge that gap of going from playing against kids to playing against not only men but skilled men.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It seemed like you fit like right in place too, because you averaged like a 1.85 goals against average, I think it was your first year of juniors. So that.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I actually don't know the exact numbers.
Yeah, I was doing a little bit of research on you.
Mm-hmm.
And then that next year, you went on to play in the USHL with the Fargo Force, like you said. So what was that like, moving from like the NAL to the USHL? Because you said like it was a lot better competition.
Yeah. I mean, the USHL is just that one step faster. It's guys that are just a little more skilled, and things are just kind of happening faster. It's not as much dump and chase hockey. Guys are being drafted in the NHL. Guys are committed to big time schools. Pretty much, I think it's like 95% of guys in the USHL commit to play Division I hockey. Where in the NAL, it's not nearly as much. So it's just more skill, and you can also be in the NAL and obviously have a lot of skill, play fast, and commit to a good Division I school. But the USHL, it's just kind of everybody's at that level. So I think, like I said, I think playing the NAL first really helped me out and allowed me to just kind of almost feel like a veteran going into my first year in SHL.
Yeah. So you played a lot more games than you did in the NAL with Fargo, especially in the first two, 3 seasons. So was it hard getting used to that playing time that you've had? Because obviously we like to have play time, but like you had a lot of play time then.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you got to kind of pay your dues, and you got to learn how to manage not playing every game, and realizing, I had a guy that was older than me, that he was the starter, and I just kind of had to be a good teammate and work as hard as I could every day on the ice, realizing that, practices are kind of my games when I'm not playing. And, those definitely taught me a lot of practice habits that I still have with me till this day. Because before I got to juniors, I didn't really have those intense practice habits. So that's something that not playing really taught me.
Yeah. So since you're playing all these games, did you have were you was there anything helped you get mentally prepared for these games, or did you just do anything in particular to prepare?
Yeah, I think I've always kept it pretty simple with that. Something that I found has helped me over the years is meditation. Just learning about the mind and how the body and the mind work together, and just working on bringing everything to the present. I've always found that just slowing down and breathing before any game, just taking some breaths, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or even just a few minutes. And realizing that just kind of brings me to the moment. It just kind of allows me to let go of everything else. And, other than that, that's pretty much it as far as pregame preparation mentally.
Yeah, and recently I've started doing yoga before games, and that
Yeah,
you can just tell that like the breathing part of that, and like it gets you like your muscles, everything loose, ready, and it's
yeah,
more you get more flexible from it too.
yeah, exactly. It's not only helping you physically, but mentally as well. Yeah, I'm a big fan of yoga too.
Yeah. When do you usually meditate before a game?
It's usually just I usually take like a pregame nap, and then after that, I like to just take some breaths and then hop in the shower and head to the rink.
Yeah, and
So right before
that's
I leave, yeah,
that's what you gotta do sometimes. I'm a
yeah,
huge pregame napper too.
yeah,
Those
yeah,
pregame
same,
naps really get you settled in. But I know a lot of
yeah,
people don't like them, but
yeah. I just I like them just because there's so much time in the day before the game.
yeah.
Sometimes if you just kind of take a nap, um, and you wake up, your meditation, hit the shower quickly, and go to the rink. You're not really just sitting there thinking about it all day.
Yeah. So do you have any like superstitions or like other routines that you do before a game?
Um, I don't know. This is kind of I don't know necessarily classify as a superstition or just kind of with the whole mindfulness thing. But there is something I do where I keep a notebook. Um, in between periods and sometimes before or after a skate, whether it's a game or practice. I like to take notes and just kind of write, how I'm feeling. Maybe something that I want to focus on heading in my skate, or maybe something that I need to work on going into the next day for after a skate, or even sometimes in between periods. If there's something I want to focus on going into the next period, or maybe there's a mistake I made on a goal or whatever it was. It's just some things that stuck out to me. I like to write them down. It kind of just brings my mind to kind of peace with it, realizing that I'm purposefully writing down the information, and I can kind of go back to it later. I just feel like that helps me really instill what I'm trying to work on in my head, and I just feel like if I keep doing that over time, it'll just keep helping me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of like in the same boat. I like to like read a lot of like articles on goaltending,
Mm-hmm.
and there's some like training video sessions that I do with some people, and
Mm-hmm.
I take notes on them, just like notes that stick out to me, how I'm feeling, like
Yeah, that's a
how
great
my
idea.
game is right
Yeah.
now. So
Mm-hmm.
it's nice to get that like notebook out or a piece of paper and just write down stuff.
Yeah, it's really helpful. I mean, I just like physically writing it too, just because you're kind of able to memorize it more. I think if you write it down, and it's kind of good to just get things on paper sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. It really helps it stick in your brain.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
going on from Far or before we move on from Fargo, what was your favorite part playing for Fargo?
Fargo, Fargo's a great town. You have such a nice arena. You get to play in over there. And it's really a first class organization. Um, we got treated like professionals, and yeah, I would say just the arena there. It's like a pro arena. It's big. It's relatively new, and it was always nice. Especially when you go on the road, and maybe there's not as nice of arena, so you get to come back and really appreciate the nice arena you have over there. So yeah, I really enjoyed my time over there for a few years, and it's a great place to play junior hockey.
That's awesome. Seems like a unreal place to play, like you said.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
So moving from that, and you moved from Fargo and went to play for the Waterloo Blackhawks in the U, and put up incredible numbers in your stint there. You're like 24, 9, 2, 2.2 .992 goals against average, .919 save percentage, and you had 5 shutouts. So everything seemed to be going right for you that season. What do you think was going right for you?
I think that was my overage season, and I had so much experience. Uh, I learned so much over those first few years of juniors. I had a lot of lows and highs and everything in between. And I feel like that season I just kind of put all the pieces together, realizing, I kind of had a fresh start with a new team, and I was able to take all my past experiences and I was able to go there and really just realize that it's time to play. I've learned so much. I've developed my game, mentally, physically. I've really put in the work. Going into that season, I kind of changed a few things in my training. I before that I kind of was. People say I kind of overdo it with my skating. I like to skate a lot in the summers and stuff, but that summer I kind of just toned it down a little bit with how much I skated, and realized that I wanted to go into that season playing every game if I could, and because I kind of felt like in previous seasons I'd kind of burn out maybe halfway through just because I was just skating so much in the summers, and I was just playing a lot of hockey. So I kind of toned it down with my skating, and a lot of little things like that just added up. And like I said, getting a fresh start in Waterloo, I was on a good team, and everything just aligned, and it was just an unbelievable experience playing there.
Yeah, so you said you changed a lot about your game during like the off season from like that from Fargo to Waterloo. Do you think it helped you in the long run where you are now? And do you still live by those things that you changed?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm at the point where I think in my career where I'm really not changing too much. I'm just kind of making sure those little habits that I've developed over the years during my time in juniors, I'm making sure those habits are staying where they need to be, and realizing that when something isn't going right in my game, it's not something that I really need to add to my game. It's something that I just kind of need to get rid of, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
That's really been the biggest thing for me the past few years, just making sure there's little things that I'm not adding to my game that are actually hurting me. So those are like I said, those habits are things that really make sure that I'm headed in the right direction, especially in college when the school I was at, we didn't really have a specific goalie coach. So when you're practicing so much, especially in college, when you're practicing way more than you play, it's really important just to self-manage those habits. And that's something that those years of juniors definitely gave me.
Yeah, for sure. You obviously everything you did was working because you played 8 playoff games that season too during your time in Waterloo. So what was that experience like playing in like big time playoff games compared to like the regular season?
Yeah, it was one of those things where my first playoff game, I still remember it. I was pretty nervous, and I was treating it a little bit differently. And then, we got to a point in the game where we were down. It was kind of late in the game, and I just it was like mid in the, around right in the middle of the game, I realized, what, I just need to treat this like a regular game, and take kind of all the hype about playoffs out of it, and just realize that if I just do what I've been doing all year, then that's what's gonna allow me and the team to be successful. And once I just kind of treat it just like the rest of the season, like I said, I was able just to really dial in and play my best instead of allowing all the hype and excitement of playoffs get in the way of that, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I've also had that experience where like I'm like hyped about the playoffs and like
Yeah,
then
yeah,
it goes
it's a normal thing,
completely. Yeah,
It's you're excited about it, and you just want to do so well on the big stage, but
yeah,
you
and
also
then
got to realize that
yeah, and then
you don't really need to change anything up. You just gotta keep doing what you've been doing to get to that point.
yeah, you just got to keep it like a regular game, not get overhyped, even though it is a hype game. But like, you just got to
Right.
keep it
Those are just
cool.
external things. It really has nothing to do with the actual hockey being played. It's just external factors
Yeah. So did you
that
do
affect
anything
that.
to prepare yourself for that series?
Well, my first playoff series it was against actually Fargo, my old team.
Oof.
So, I think just kind of having that opportunity to be able to play against my old team, and that kind of gave me a little bit of fire going up against them. I wouldn't say there was anything I did to prepare for that series. I guess I tried to treat it just like a normal series, and once I once I really just focused on my job instead of who I was playing or the hype of it, like I was saying, I was able to really just be in the moment and be my best.
Did you guys end up winning that series?
Yes, we ended up sweeping them, and
Ooh.
the final game of the series was a shutout in Fargo. So that was something that I
Cool.
always remember, and
That
something that is very special for me, especially against my old team.
that must have been awesome, especially since that set a fire under you, and just to end it like that must have been
Yeah,
pretty great.
yeah, it's something that I'll remember for the rest of my life, and it was definitely a really good feeling, especially kind of after my last year in Fargo, where we just kind of parted ways, and um, I was kind of told to find a new place to play, and it was kind of a good feeling for me, giving that right back to them after they kind of told me to go my separate way, like I said.
Yeah. So how did you guys do that next series that you guys played?
We lost to Sioux City, and
Ooh.
it's the USHL playoffs are best of five, and we lost to them in the fifth game. We were probably the two best teams in the league, and it was just back and forth. It was they won first game, we won the next. They won, we won. So it was just back and forth, and all the way to like game five. And every game was close. It was 2-1 games, 3-2, 1-0. It was very close all series, and yeah, we just I just didn't have I personally didn't have the best game. In that game five, and yeah, we ended up dropping that one, but. At the end of the day, I was just so happy to be able to have the season that I did. And no matter how far we made it playoffs, I was just very grateful for the season that we had and the opportunity that I had to play so many games there.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate that you guys lost like that, but at least there were close games all around. So at least it was close.
Yeah, they were definitely close games, and it was a tight series, and it was fun.
So you were named to the USHL third All-Star team. How much did that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's cool to be recognized for your successful season. That's definitely something that I owe to the coach in Waterloo and my teammates for allowing me to be able to achieve something like that. Um, it's like I said, it's something nice to have, but I definitely would have rather had the championship for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But at least you got some kind of award there.
Yeah,
Championship would have been over the top.
right.
So now moving on to your college career. Uh, so you decided to commit to play for the Michigan Tech Huskies. Why did you choose Michigan Tech?
I chose Michigan Tech just because they gave me the best opportunity to get the education that I wanted and to be able to play as many games as I could, and just kind of the best of both worlds for me. It's a great place to play, and they have a great following up there. Honestly, they're some of the best fans in the country, if not the best. And Yeah, I think it was kind of a no-brainer for me compared to my other options at the time.
Yeah, for sure. So, what was that like freshman season like, and like the transition from juniors to college hockey?
It's different. It's just like a different style of play. There's bigger guys. It's not as run and gun as the USHL. There's more kind of crazy bounces, broken plays, and just kind of things that you have to react to that you don't normally like see. Um, there's definitely an adjustment in playing styles. There's more guys that block shots. There's more screens, and yeah, it took me some time to adjust. It really did, but after I made the adjustments, I kind of got back to where I want to be, like where I was in Waterloo.
Yeah, for sure. That's always a good feeling when you get right back into things and feel confident, comfortable with where you are.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
So in that next season, you guys were actually the WCHA champions. So what was that experience like, and what experience did you gain from that run for the championship?
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. Obviously, um, we actually played our rival, Northern Michigan, right down the street from us, and we beat them in their barn. So
Ooh,
it was cool. It was one of the best atmospheres I've played in. And just the way we did it, we were the sixth seed or fifth seed going into playoffs, and yeah, we ended up playing every game on the road, kind of upsetting everybody. And after that, we went to the NCAA tournament, and that's something that was unbelievable as well. That's something I always remember.
that
Going out to play Notre Dame out in Connecticut. I think it was Connecticut. Yeah, it was somewhere out east, and yeah, just an unbelievable experience. And I really think that we even could have went all the way. We lost to Notre Dame in overtime, and it was a really close game. Could have gone either way, obviously.
yeah.
So we had a really special team out
Those are some powerhouse teams too that you guys have played against.
here. Yeah.
So that must have been a good feeling to play against them and do well against them.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, something I'll always remember.
Yeah, for sure. So throughout the next 2 years, you played 17 games. So what do you do to keep yourself in shape and game ready when maybe you aren't playing as many games as you want to?
Yeah, like I said, those habits that I formed in juniors and those experiences that I had in juniors allowed me to be successful during those times of not playing because I've been through it before. And realizing that I'm gonna get my shot eventually, whether it's this weekend, next weekend, or in 2 months. The opportunity is gonna come eventually. I get my time to play, and I just kind of had to go into every single practice like it was a game.
Yeah,
And this way, when I finally got back in there, it wouldn't have been anything different. It would have been a big shock. There wouldn't be all this hype around it, kind of we talked about earlier. And I just kind of found ways to keep myself engaged and keep myself being a good teammate and put my mind on the right things is definitely important for me.
yeah, for sure. When you're given that opportunity, you gotta capitalize on it and not look back.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's something that I definitely did in college, and something I'll always be proud of. When I got got my number called upon after not playing for a while, I've always stepped up and took advantage of it and gave my team the boost that we needed. So uh, that's something that I always prepared myself for.
Yeah, so what tips would you give to someone that isn't playing as much and just to stay sharp and be ready for that next game? I know you said like you'd be a good teammate, so that's probably a huge one that you have to do. So what are some other tips that you'd give them?
I would say, don't focus on what's not happening for you. Um, because it's so easy to get caught up in just what your situation is and what's going wrong. The coach isn't playing you. You can come up with all these excuses and play this whole blame game and have this big pity party, but um, and those are normal feelings to have. But those are things that can't just dwell in because your game will start to slip. You'll start pushing yourself further away from that opportunity to get back in. So I think, like I said, just putting your mind on the right things of just showing up every day, enjoying your time at the rink, whether you're playing or not, because nobody likes not playing. It's not going to be as fun when you're not playing. But if you just show up and be grateful for the opportunity that you do have instead of another opportunity that you don't have, you're able to just be present and not worry about the bad things that, like I said, that aren't happening for you when you are just focused on being grateful for what you do have.
Yeah, exactly. I love what you said there. Those are some great tips you gave. So, what has been some of your favorite moments as a Husky that you've played in or played around?
Yeah, I would definitely say winning the championship my first year and playing in the Great Lakes Invitational. It's a big tournament in Detroit right after Christmas time, and it's us, Michigan State, a fourth guest team that rotates out every year, and it's something that I grew up watching, and all my family gets to come. It's one of those tournaments that I always dreamed of playing in, and I got to play 4 games in it during my college career, and then we actually won it this year. So
that's awesome.
It's always a great experience. Something we do, like I said, every year. And those experiences playing at Little Caesars Arena where the Wings play.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely very cool and something, like I said, that I'll always remember.
Yeah, something you'll cherish forever, like you said. So, you said that before, like, we started this episode, you said that you're entering the transfer portal. So what made your decision to go to, like, test the transfer portal?
I had obviously having the opportunity to open up my options. I graduated college. I'm going to be graduating this spring, and this will be my 3rd year. So when you graduate and you still have eligibility left, you're able to transfer somewhere else and play right away. And since I had that opportunity, I figured I would see what else is out there for me, and maybe get a fresh start somewhere and see if I can, just get a great college experience somewhere else for my last year of college and start a master's degree somewhere else too. We'll see.
Yeah, for sure. Just any interest in any particular school that you would like to join?
There's honestly nowhere in particular that I'd like to go. I just want to go somewhere where they have a good academic program for me. And they want me to come in and play games, and they have a good team. I think those 3 things are definitely something that I'm looking for, and something that I'll be grateful for to have if I get the opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. So let's move on to some development camp stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
So you were invited to attend the Detroit Red Wings development camp last year. So what was that experience like?
Yeah, that was amazing. It was cool just being recognized by the Red Wings goalie coach, Jeff Saleko. He watched me play a couple times and he heard how hard I worked. He invited me to the camp himself, and just being right at home, like I said, at Little Caesars Arena, which is 25, 30 minutes from my house. My family got to come to that as well, and just to be able to have that experience of playing with all of the Red Wings prospects and getting to meet a bunch of new guys and talking to the guys like Steve Yzerman and their whole goaltending staff and really getting some good feedback from those guys and how to make it to that level are definitely some things that I brought with me going into this past season.
That's something definitely worth valuing for sure, especially since you got all those guys that are at the pro level right now or high level college, just giving you tips and tricks to help you succeed in your dream.
Absolutely.
So, what was your favorite moment from the camp?
From the camp.
Yeah.
Um, Favorite moment was just being on the ice with their goaltending staff. They have the head goalie coach, it's Jeff Saleko, and they have the goalie development coach, and they have one of the goalie scouts. So it was cool, not just hearing feedback from one guy. It was cool just picking three different guys' brains about the position and really hearing about things that I can work on and things that I can develop in my game that'll help me get there.
Yeah, that just seems like an unreal experience, and must be really nice putting that red and white Red Wing sweater on for sure.
Yeah, it was something I always remember seeing my last name on a Red Wings jersey.
Yeah, for sure. And I read that your favorite goalies have all been Wings goaltenders, like Dominic Hasek and Chris Osgood. So that must be a really good feeling.
Yeah. Always growing up a Wings fan, watching those goalies was something that made me want to play the position. And yeah, those are memories that I always have watching those guys. And later on in my life, being able to wear that jersey, even if it was at just the development camp, it's something that I was very proud of, and it's very cool for me.
Yeah, for sure. So we got a few more questions for you. So, who is your favorite present goalie right now?
I would say Carey Price. I go with most goalies on that one.
Yeah.
I just love watching him move. I love how calm he stays and the way he skates. I just think he does everything with such efficiency, and he plays the game so smart. And I really enjoy watching his game just because I feel like I get better when I really study on what he's doing.
Yeah, for sure. Carey Price is one of my favorite goalies. So is like Andre Vasilevsky.
Yeah, he's fun to watch too.
Marc-Andre Fleury for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The list could go on and on.
Yeah.
So a couple more questions. I've noticed that you've had like really good like color pads, really good gear for like the pads, like your colorways and all that. How do you pick like what like colors you're gonna use and all that, and like all like the graphics on them?
Yeah,
They're sick.
I don't know. I just try to make sure I'm looking nice and swagged out.
Yeah.
I just I feel like always live by the look good, feel good, play good motto, and I like to, that's one of the coolest things I think about being a goalie is you get to kind of express yourself through your gear.
Yeah.
And, I really like putting the time to make sure my setup's looking nice and slick, and yeah, it's something that I always look forward to doing heading into each season. Setting up my gear, getting a nice paint job, and it's something I've been grateful to have for the past 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah, for sure. I live by that look good, feel good, play good saying. I always say during a game, like especially when times aren't going as well as I want it to.
Sure.
Always gotta say that and refocus. So that's it's a great quote. Do you do any like self motivation stuff when you're on the ice, like especially when things aren't going good? Just
yeah, I do a lot of self talk and making sure that I'm in the right place and I'm staying calm and I'm taking care of myself too. I growing up, I used to kind of beat myself up after mistakes and kind of think that was making me better if I'm super hard on myself all the time and kind of being a negative voice to myself, but realizing you got to take care of yourself. You got to be nice to yourself. You got to be your own best friend because the game's hard enough. You got your coach is being hard on you. You got so many other factors that are hard for you. So the last thing you want to do is make it hard for yourself and be in your own way. And I think over the years I've learned how to bring myself to the present. I've learned how to just let go of analyzing things too much out there, and just realizing that once I go out there, I'm kind of just like a robot on autopilot, just focusing on the puck, focusing on the play, and just trusting myself to read the play, because I think if I'm out there thinking about things too much and focused on the wrong things, then I'm not going to be myself. And I just realized that when I'm simply just being myself, I'm one of the best goalies out there in college hockey. And that's something that if I can be consistent with every day, then I'm definitely doing my job and making my teammates better too. And that's something that I would definitely recommend to all goalies, of just realizing that if you're being yourself, then that's the best goalie you can be.
Yeah, for sure. I used to do the same thing where I'd beat myself up for mistakes, and especially when I give up goals or make a noticeable mistake from me. Maybe it's not noticeable to like any other players, but like to me it's noticeable, and I just like beat myself up to that. But so I've read that in different programs that I've read about like self-talk, and it has definitely helped for sure. Helped my game extend or get to that next level for sure.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's a constant practice. It's something that you have to be disciplined with, and it's something that you almost learn how to, like I said, be your own best friend, and you be that positive voice to yourself, and you give yourself these self affirmations, and you realize that if you work on it every day, and you make sure that you are talking to yourself well on the ice, you'll realize that you have a much better experience out there, instead of just kind of draining yourself with all this negative self-talk and beating yourself up, like we were talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Goal is a hard position, but boy, is it fun.
Yeah. I mean, I played the other positions when I was a kid, and
yeah, same.
when I got into the net, I knew that's what I wanted to do. So something that I've enjoyed my whole life. It definitely is one of those things that's why I work so hard, because I just want to get better at doing it, because obviously we enjoy doing it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's all we got for today. So thank you, Robbie, for coming on for this episode, and hopefully we'll see you in a Red Wings uniform soon.
Thank you, man. I enjoyed the chat, and I appreciate that, and we'll keep in touch.
Yeah, for sure. So thank you, Robbie, for coming on to the podcast. It was a lot of fun chatting with you, and we'll be back with another episode soon. So we'll see you guys later. Peace out.